What up, YouTube? Big Lou's tapping back in one more game. What it do with Big Lou? NFCR2, baby, baby. Quick little video. The WBA, the World Boxing Association, the oldest sanctioning body, has named the WBA Super Lightweight Heavyweight Champion Dmitry Bivol their Fighter of the Year 2022. Um, He's a fighter out of Russian, Eastern European, right? He has that Eastern European style. He defeated the super middleweight undisputed champ Canelo Alvarez a few months back. Dominated him, gave him a boxing lesson. Just dominated him. Something that people weren't accustomed to seeing. Gave him his first loss in like 9 years. And then recently, about a month ago, he took on former super middleweight champion Zurdo Ramirez. And the only reason he's ex or former, the reason I'm saying his name as former super middleweight champ, WBO super middleweight champ, is because the fact that he went up in weight. So Bivol again dominated this guy. The whole fight. Zurdo Ramirez came into the fight on a 44 winning streak. He was 44-0, and he went in there and just handled him. And he gave up about 3 inches to the guy, and his size, weight wise, he looked like a smaller guy. Obviously he's only 6 foot. The other guy's 6'3", 6'4", and he was saying that he gave the dude a lot of respect, you know, uh, because of his experience and everything he's been through with like I said, with the 44 uh, pro fights, all wins. You know what I mean? So he gave this guy his very first professional loss, and like I just mentioned before, he had beat Canelo Alvarez for the first time since Mayweather beat him. So that was like 9 years. So he gave him his first loss in like 9 years, his second loss on his record total. And then this guy, he goes in there, Zurdo Ramirez, and he just hands his ass to him right back. Right? He didn't knock him out. He hurt him a few times, but not like major hurt. He like I said, he rocked him a few times, but he definitely whooped him as far as the boxing lesson he gave him. And by the way Zurdo Ramirez fought, you wouldn't have thought he was on a 44 win fight streak. You know what I mean? But anyways, this is just a quick little video to say congrats, salute to the champ, the WBA super champ, at light heavyweight, and there's only one thing left for him in that division, is to fight his fellow Russian, Arthur Beterbiev, for the title and what I mean by title is name of undisputed at light heavyweight. So, like I mentioned, Dmitry Bivol currently holds the WBA super belt, which at light heavyweight, and then Arthur Beterbiev holds the WBO, the WBC, and the IBF titles. So, if they were to fight, the winner takes all the marbles and will be considered the undisputed champ at light heavyweight. So if they can't make that fight, then better, the only thing else to do is to go up to cruiserweight and try to capture all those titles, right? So, I don't. We'll see what happens in the near future. Hopefully, they can make this fight, just like I hope they can make the Crawford Spence fight, right? It's for all the marbles. So, again, I'm not sure who represents who. I know Eddie Hearns represents uh he represents Dmitry Bivol. Um, I'm not sure. Oh, Golden Boy represents Zurdo Ramirez. I know they fought, but I'm not sure who represents Arthur Beterbiev. So, it's one of those things. If you're under the same promoter, it's a lot easier, way easier to make the fight because, it's one promoter promoting both fighters. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, I know what the reason is. I didn't want to say some reason like if I don't know. It's all the money thing. They want to get that promoter wants to get, the bread, the percentage from each fighter. And it's easier for as far as as far as the money goes and the advertisements and all that for two fighters that are from the same stable, like Al Heyman, for example, PBC. It's both fighters with PBC, then they'll make it quick. But when you bring in Top Rank and these other companies, promoters, it's not as easy to make the fights, which it should be. It's just that they don't want to give up, the percentages. They want it to be, way off, tilter, like 70-30, you know what I mean? 65-35, instead of getting it as close as half and half if possible when you got two guys like that fighting. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So with that being said, Big Lou's gonna tap on out with what it do with Big Lou, baby, baby.